With the release of this green and gold version, I wonder if we'll ever get a red and gold version, like a Dark Phoenix. What's up YouTube, it's Mike aka Plastic Life, back with another review, this time on the MAFEX Xmen Phoenix from Medicom Toy. This figure was released earlier this week in Japan and I pre-ordered mine from Hobby Search. After shipping and conversion and being smacked with a $20 customs fee, I paid a total of 140 Canadian dollars, which is pretty standard if you're buying from any of the North American retailers. I'm really excited to take a look at this version of Jean Grey, so let's get started and take a closer look. Before we get started, I want to apologize for my voice. I was sick last week and I've been dealing with some post-viral coughing for the last few days, and I apologize for sounding so raspy. So let's take a look at Jean Grey, aka the Phoenix, and this figure came out really nice. I'm very happy with the way this looks. Proportions are very nice. You can see the gold is very nice and metallic, has a nice pop to it. Goes very good with the green in the suit. The head sculpt that the figure comes with out of the package is absolutely amazing. Nice whited out pupils there. Very nice comic book flow of hair there. Here's a look at the back of the hair. You can see nice orange and yellow highlights, just so that the hair isn't just a flat red. The Phoenix symbol came out really good. I just have a little bit of an imperfection there, but I'm pretty happy with the way that this came out. We have a floating belt similar to the MAFEX Psylocke. I'm not really a big fan of these floaty belts. They tend to just ride up on the figure's waist like that, and they don't really stay down when you want them to. It does have a very nice Phoenix symbol on the knot there. Look at the back of the sash there. I love how it just tapers in towards the knot, and you have all these sculpted wrinkles in there. That looks really good. And the default sash is just kind of floating along the side there. And we get some nicely sculpted assets. I guess this piece is brand new. Doesn't appear to be the same as the original Jean Grey figure from MAFEX. I love the sculpted boots. They come all the way up the leg and they taper off into a point. Looks very nice, comic accurate Jean Grey. And she's got just a little bit of a heel there. We have some sculpted crotch lines there. That's awesome because it makes the person look like they're actually wearing a suit. The wrist joints don't match the color of the glove in the hand for obvious reasons, because if they were to paint that wrist joint with this metallic gold, the more you bend and twist this wrist, the more you're just going to end up chipping the paint. Same thing goes for the ankle joint. The boots and the ankle joint are not the same color. So aesthetically speaking, I'm really happy with the way that this figure came out. I think it just looks absolutely gorgeous. I know that there were some complaints. Some people had taken photos of this figure. I think it was at San Diego Comic-Con, but the hips just didn't look right. But I think it was due to bad posing. They kind of had the figure kind of posed like this, so the hips didn't really follow the contour lines there. When you bring the hips in closer like that, I think it looks really good. Phoenix comes with very little accessories, so let's start talking about that. The Phoenix comes with two additional head sculpts, the first one being this neutral Jean Grey head sculpt, and I think it came out absolutely beautiful. She looks really good here. And they have the same yellow and orange highlights to make that hair not just the flat red color. And the other head sculpt is this yelling Phoenix kind of rage face, and I think that came out really good. I like how the hair is nice and wavy. And unlike the other head sculpts where the hair is straight, you see a lot of curls in this hair. It looks really cool. They added the same orange and yellow shading there to bring out some of the colors. Very nice head sculpt there. I just want to take a look at the original Jean Grey from MAFEX's head sculpt, which is on the right here. It has much more darker burgundy colored hair versus the new one has more bright with yellow and red highlights there. If we take a look at the lips, the Jean Grey has like a dark red lipstick on, and the Phoenix has very nice natural pink lips, and I think that looks really good. It looks a lot more realistic there. Swapping out the heads is super easy. Just grab a hold and pull, revealing the ball peg. Grab the head that you want to swap to. Make sure you line up the socket with the ball peg and just push that in like so. And then you have just a nice neutral head sculpt there. The Phoenix comes with 4 hand sculpts. We have a nice relaxed hand sculpt. We have open palmed hands, completely open. We have some stylized Jean Grey hands, kind of like using Phoenix's cosmic powers or using her own telepathic powers, and those came out great. And in case if you don't want to use your powers, but you want to throw some rights and lefts, she comes with some fisted hands. And the last accessory is this extra sash that she comes with, but this one is in a posed position. It's not bendy or anything like that. It doesn't have any bendy wire in it. It is flexible, but it won't hold positions other than this position. To swap out the sash, what I like to do is to remove the head sculpt first so that that's not in the way. You need to separate the lower abdominals from the crotch piece, and I know this is going to seem scary, so I'm going to give it a go here, and if I break my figure, at least you won't break your figure. So I'm just going to pull, and there we go. So we separated the joint there. We got our ball peg and our socket, and remove the sash, and then make sure this one's facing the right way, and just peg that back in. Come on, peg back in, please. There we go. And then put your head sculpt back on there. My hands are shaking because I was so scared to break this freaking figure. And then we have our posed sash. So now when you're doing, flight poses with Jean Grey, aka the Phoenix, you got that nice floaty sash there. So, unfortunately, that is it for accessories. I mean, this is the Phoenix Force, and we have absolutely no flame effects, no Phoenix effects, no cosmic power effects, no telepathy effects, and that is just quite a bummer. I really do like the head sculpts. I'm happy for the additional hands, but when you have a figure, or when you have a character like the Phoenix, you need, large flame effects. You need a Phoenix effect. You need some telekinetic power, something, because you want to really show off this character, and the figure by itself just it's beautiful aesthetically, but you need a nice big background piece or something, a nice Phoenix piece similar to what the Marvel Legends one gives us. I don't actually have that figure yet, but I do appreciate the flame effects that it comes with, but unfortunately we don't get anything with this MAFEX figure. I always forget this accessory when reviewing figures, but you get your typical flight stand here with the articulated arm. You get a crotch saddle and two different connector pieces for the waist, as well as a straight up plastic bar there. Alright, so let's move on to articulation. First we'll start with the head and neck. When you have this head sculpt on, the hair comes all the way down. She's not going to be able to look up that much, but can definitely look down, can turn side to side. And there's tilt, side to side. And you get two different parts of the neck joint. You get the lower neck joint and you get the upper neck joint. Our shoulders can move up about that much. They can rotate a full 360 around. You have a nice butterfly joint that goes forward and backwards, and it also comes up and down. We have an upper bicep swivel that can rotate around, and we have double jointed elbows, and you have your standard MAFEX wrist joints that can come up and down, or you can turn the peg so that you can move inwards and outwards. So we have an upper diaphragm joint and a lower abdomen joint that's capable of producing approximately that much forward flexion. And if the hairpiece wasn't in the way, we would be able to get a little bit more than that. You can rotate side to side, and you can tilt side to side. For the hips, our crotch piece is soft on the sides here. So make sure that when you lift the leg, it doesn't catch over top of the crotch piece like that. You're going to end up just kind of digging into it. So you can use the pull down method that I just used, pull down the joint there, and you can lift the leg up. It can kick up really, really high. There is no actual thigh cut for this figure, but you can rotate the joint inwards and outwards about this much. The hips can move out to the side. She can do a full splits. That's awesome. We have nice double jointed knees that can bend this much. Our ankles can move up and down. They can also rotate inwards and outwards. And we have a toe hinge. If you have the MAFEX Jean Grey, she came with these psychic effect pieces on the hands. Obviously you'll have to hide these because they're not the gold gloves, but let's see if this will actually work or not. Let's remove one of the hands here. Make sure I'm attaching the right to the right. So yes, the same size pegs there. So if you wanted to use kind of just a psychic effect there, you can certainly use the original Jean Grey figure ones. So I think the articulation fits this character very good because, you know, most of the time Phoenix is in some flight poses using the cosmic powers and stuff like that. So you can get some really nice flying poses out of this figure. I think that looks great. Alright, let's get into some comparisons now. So here's the MAFEX Phoenix with the MAFEX Jean Grey original release. Here's the Phoenix with our other female Xmen figures released by Medicom Toy. Here's Phoenix next to MAFEX Cyclops. Next to MAFEX Wolverine and Gambit. Next to MAFEX Magneto. If you're trying to mix and match your lines, here she is next to Marvel Legends Cyclops from 97. Here's Phoenix with Marvel Legends Nightcrawler from 97 and Marvel Legends Beast. And finally next to Marvel Legends Xmen 97 Jean Grey. Alright, so final thoughts on the Phoenix. I think they did a really good job capturing the Phoenix in figure form. I really like the aesthetics of this figure. She looks very, very good. I'm happy with the additional head sculpts. I think there's enough variance there to create different poses and different stories there. I do like the additional hands, but for $140, if you're a collector on a budget, you may want to stay away from this figure, especially because you don't get a lot of accessories. Possibly maybe the Marvel Legends one, if you wait for that one to come out. That one might be a little bit more budget friendly. But if you like the MAFEX line, then you're going to want to pick this figure up. It's always good to have variances in different costumes for different figures. And I love having this figure. I'm really happy that we got one of these. I do wonder if in the future, are we going to get a red and gold version of this? Maybe with some more effects. In the meantime, you're going to have to borrow effects from other figures. Here's a couple flame effects from the Storm Collectible Scorpion that will go well with it, so I'll take some photos with that. But yeah, if you want this figure and you want to pick it up, I'm pretty sure it's still in stock at most online retailers. If you found this review helpful, hit that thumbs up and subscribe buttons, leave a comment below, head on over to plastic.life on Instagram for more action figure pics, and always remember, at the end of the day, this is your collection. Buy whatever makes you happy. I hope you'll catch my next reviews. Take care.